One introduction. Rosep view. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only. For home building and furniture building, for just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable, wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree, but it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lungs, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM 2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom, the Eco-Design Wood Stove, and International Convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. Rosep view. Purple air. PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM 2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM 2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.
Hi, my name is Lily. Andrew gave you the intro to residents against wood smoke emission particulates and their concern for air pollution from indoor residential wood burning. Residents against wood smoke emission particulates, or ROSEP, would like every near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner whose wood smoke enters their yards and sickens the near neighbors to have a purple air PM 2.5 monitor hanging from the eaves of their home to measure the level of PM 2.5 entering their yards. That measurement of air pollution should be used as evidence of unnecessary air pollution, and each indoor residential wood burner should be shut down based on that evidence, one indoor residential wood burner at a time if necessary. The presentation by Andrew ended at 2 minutes 5 seconds. The same presentation by Emma starts at 2 minutes 3 seconds before the end of this podcast. So I am Lily, your timekeeper, and you can start the next podcast at 2 minutes 5 seconds in if you would not like to see the presentation by Andrew a second time. This presentation by me, Lily, ends at 5 minutes in. What you will see in the main content of this ROSEP podcast will be news about air pollution from indoor residential wood burning and how that air pollution is being combated by ordinary people just like you who are unfortunately near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners at this time. There will also be news about unnecessary and highly polluting use of wood as fuel in industrial wood burners and preventable air pollution from wood burning wildfires. There will also be news about air pollution from PM 2.5 from gas-powered cars. There will also be news about airborne diseases which are also preventable with vaccines such as COVID-19 and measles and whooping cough, to name just a few. In 2025, Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates is also concerned with combating the Trump destruction of government funding for programs which protect human health through the Department of Health and Human Services, and Trump destruction of programs which fund the science and medical research plan to protect human health from preventable illnesses. Protecting human health is a patriotic act, and our defense against enemies is weakened if we are not as healthy as we can be. Heat pump rebates are now offered by the federal government, distributed through the eligible United States, are available in 2025, and are the best, cleanest, and now cheapest alternative to indoor residential wood burning if that burning is actually done to purportedly save money. Wind and solar as sources of the electricity that powers heat pumps and electric cars is also cheaper than burning, with the adverse health effects that are caused by indoor residential wood burning also come at a cost to near neighbors, both in shortening and ending their lives, and in actual hospital, clinic, and funeral costs. Instead of being compensated monetarily, near neighbors should instead be able to achieve immediate relief by stopping indoor residential wood burning in their hyper-localized neighborhoods, which relief readings from purple air PM 2.5 monitors used as evidence of air pollution will help them achieve. Welcome to news about hopeful scientific and medical achievements that will also help us achieve the goal of clean air to breathe.
Webisode 57DHXWTa, August 27, 2025 research linking anti-wind groups and fossil fuel industry may be erased. In episode 57DHXWTa, 1 Rhode Island Brown University law firm pressures Brown University to erase research on anti-wind group. 2 Rhode Island and Norway Orstead stop Plummets to record lows after Trump halts U.S. wind farm in order to stop work on the Revolution Wind project off Rhode Island. Further rattled the beleaguered Danish company. 3 New York Long Island Empire wine not stopped. 4 Ohio. These Ohioans got a deal on solar panels. Here is their secret. Google alerts. 5 World. 6 United States. 7 Arizona. 8 California. 9 Colorado. 10 Florida. 11 Illinois. 12 Indiana. 13 Maine. 14 Massachusetts. 15 Minnesota. 16 New York. 17 North Carolina. 18 Oregon. 19 Rhode Island. 20 Vermont. 21 Canada. 22 Colombia. 23 Australia. 24 United Kingdom. 25 Europe. 26 China. 27 India. 28 Thailand. Main content. 1 Rhode Island Brown University law firm pressures Brown University to erase research on anti-wind group. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates of 501c3 nonprofit organization. The New York Times, August 25, 2025. A law firm representing opponents of offshore wind farms is demanding that Brown University retract research that details links between the fossil fuel industry and anti-wind groups. Marzella Law LLC, which has close ties to the conservative legal movement, called the research false and injurious and said it would complain to the Brown University public and private funders, including the U.S. Department of Energy, Department DOE, the National Science Foundation, NSF, and the Mellon Foundation. A wind power project called Revolution Wind is one of the offshore wind projects that is threatened by this complaint. 2 Rhode Island and Norway Orstead stock Plummets to record lows after Trump halts U.S. wind farm in order to stop work on the Revolution Wind project off Rhode Island. Further rattled the beleaguered Danish company. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates of 501c3 nonprofit organization. The New York Times, August 25, 2025. Shares of Orstead, the Danish wind farm developer, plunged on Monday, August 25, 2025 after the Trump administration ordered a halt to the $6.2 billion project off the coast of Rhode Island, raising questions about the future of the company. Orstead, which has helped establish offshore wind as a major source of power in Europe, had tried to replicate that success through large investments in the United States. It has been tripped up first by inflation and higher interest rates, and more recently by opposition to renewable energy by President Trump. The wind farm, called Revolution Wind, aimed to supply electricity to 350,000 homes in Rhode Island and Connecticut by next spring. The Revolution Wind project is 80% complete. Putting additional funds into U.S. wind projects is now risky. 3 New York Long Island Empire wine not stopped. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates of 501c3 nonprofit organization. The New York Times, August 25, 2025. Earlier this year, Equinor, the Norwegian energy giant, and the New York Governor Kathy Hochul were able to persuade the Trump administration to reverse in order to stop another large wind project. Empire wind off Long Island. Equinor wrote down nearly $1 billion in value because of resulting delays. Putting additional funds into U.S. wind projects is now risky. 4 Ohio. These Ohioans got a deal on solar panels. Here is their secret. Excerpts edited by residents against wood smoke emission particulates of 501c3 nonprofit organization. The New York Times, August 25, 2025. Today, newly placed solar panels shine atop the roofs of 15 Columbus area residences, all a result of a solar buying cooperative. Area residents work together to vet installers, demystify contracts, and ultimately install panels. Some people learned about the group from their local library. Together, it is estimated they will save more than $1.1 million in lifetime energy costs. One couple wrote up a fact sheet detailing the price they paid the installer. They used the tax break they anticipated, and the electricity output of the system getting started can be daunting. It can cost $20,000 to $30,000 or more. There are horror stories of aggressive salespeople and less than scrupulous installation companies. People worry about damaging their roofs, getting stuck with a system that does not pass inspection, or making decisions they will come to regret. The cooperative in the Columbus, Ohio area is called Solar United Neighbors, a nonprofit group that facilitates solar exchange group all over America. People can join local groups for free and attend information sessions, ask questions, and get cost estimates from area installers. Co-ops run for 4 to 8 months and generally include 30 to 100 members. Around the 3rd month, Solar United Neighbors solicits proposals from local installers who compete for the business of the whole group. After the nonprofit does due diligence on the bids, each cooperative appoints its own selection committee, which combs through the fine print and selects the best fit. After an installer is chosen, each household decides whether to move forward and sign an individual contract. Last year, 94 people signed up for the Columbus Co-op, resulting in 15 installations. One couple who had solicited bids on their own before working with the co-op estimated the group had saved them $750 or 4% of their total costs once switched on the rooftop panels of one 2024 co-op participant. Produced monthly electricity bill savings, which come close to covering the cost of a loan he took out to finance his system. Sometimes he generates more electricity than he uses and earns credits that will apply to future bills, but Republicans in Congress passed a bill to phase out the solar power tax credits that will offset almost a third of their costs. The solar power tax credits are set to vanish on December 31st, 2025. One SUN program director for Ohio sketched a cartoon of a solar panel riding in a car on a twisty track, reading, "Hang on, it is a solar coaster." She printed out stickers. Google alerts. 5 World PM 2.5 U.S. oil and gas air pollution is causing unequal health impacts. Study the Hill. The outdoor contaminants, which include fine particulate matter PM 2.5. Ultimately, they were able to attribute the annual life cycle burdens of 6 United States heat pump. High temperature heat pump design promises greater water heating efficiency. AIP, ORG, American Institute of Physics. High temperature heat pumps HDHPs extract and reuse heat from a source, reducing energy costs and carbon emissions. United States heat pump carrier launches new air to water heat pumps for commercial applications. PV Magazine USA carrier, a US-based heating solutions provider, said its new Aqua Snap 30 RQM heat pump system can deliver a water temperature of up to 60 degrees Celsius. The United States heat pump rebate. Homeowners and renters can get a $14,000 upgrade rebate from a $700 million pot. The U.S. Sun heat pump for space heating and cooling. U.S. homeowners with fridges in line for a $250 rebate. Check. You just need to fill out a form. The U.S. Sun rewards are also available to anyone who trades in their old heat pump washer and dishwashers. Most read in Money Raining. Money. U.S. state sending United States heat pump rebate. Ready for a major kitchen upgrade? You can still snag government rebates and tax credits. The cool down companies like Mitsubishi can help you find an affordable heat pump plus an Energy Star certified electric heat pump for space heating and cooling. United States heat pump rebate. Solar federal tax credit sunsetting soon. The Wanderer rebates through the Energy Efficient Home Improvement Credit. This program offers up to $2,000 in savings on new heat pump heating/cooling units. And 7. Arizona wood burning. The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality has issued a PM 2.5 and PM 10 high Arizona Emergency Information Network. Eliminate wood burning in fireplaces, stoves, chimneys, and outdoor fire pits. Convert your wood burning fireplace to natural gas or propane. 8. California ROSEP views stupidity. California wood burning. This article does not deal with the fact that wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as coal burning. In this case, the word renewable does not mean clean. Renewable. With wildfires burning in California, the government should consider the adverse health effects of wood burning along with any consideration that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut down burn tree. Wind or solar. The truly clean energy sources should be developed and used for home heating and hot water heating instead, and wind and solar should be used to power industrial plants. Also from the article headline, Biomass Industry. Cal Fire invests $5 million to expand biomass use and train forestry workers. Bioenergy Insight. The Cal Fire Wood Products and Bioenergy team. We are proud to support efforts that expand the workforce, improve forest health, and make use of woody. California Madera County wood burning. Breaking wood fire reported in Madera County on August 18. Sacramento Bee fire name. Wood. A new wildfire was reported today at 4:03 p.m. in Madera County, California. Wood fire has been burning on private land currently. Fresno Bee wood fire has been burning on private land currently. There is no information on the containment of the fire and the cause of it has yet to be. Merced Sun star. A new wildfire was reported today at 4:03 p.m. in Madera County, California. Wood fire has been burning on private land currently. There is no. California San Bernardino County wood burning. Breaking new wildfire reported in San Bernardino County on August 18. Fresno Bee. The wildfire has been burning on private land currently there. California Santa Clara County wood burning. Breaking redwood fire reported in Santa Clara County on August 18. Sacramento Bee. Redwood fire has been burning on private land at this time. The breaking wood fire reported in Madera County on August 18. California Sierra Nevada private timber forest wood burning. Private timber forests face 1.5 times greater fire threat. Study warns wood. Central researchers found that the likelihood of severe fire was 1.5 times higher in privately managed forests across the California northern Sierra Nevada lead. California Sonoma County wood smoke. Sonoma County issues health advisory due to poor air quality caused by picket fire in Calistoga. Sonoma County avoid adding additional air pollution by curtailing activities such as wood burning. California southern wood burning ban in effect through Thursday in much of SoCal. MSNA ban on indoor and outdoor wood burning was extended Wednesday through Thursday for much of Southern California due to a forecast of high air. 9. Colorado Denver heat pump. Thinking about a heat pump? Some things to know about choosing what is best for you. Yahoo Finance. That is also the secret to how heat pumps can be more efficient than conventional heating technologies, which have to generate heat before they can. Lockport Union Sun and Journal Climate Choices heat pumps. A condenser sits on the roof during the installation of a heat pump on Jan 20th, 2023 in Denver. 10. Florida Tampa heat pump rebate. What Smart has a vast network of contractors to help customers be more energy efficient. Fox 13 News heat pump benefits. And the RMP What Smart rebate programs. One of those. Rocky Mountain Power offers rebates on all types of heat pumps for Utah. Florida Tampa PM 2.5 summer air quality. What wildfire smoke means for your health. Fox 13 News tiny particulate matter. We inhale like PM 2.5. Those particles are actually really small, 2.5 micrometers. ROSEP view. It is stupidity to ignore wood smoke emission pollution. Florida Pembroke Park in Delaware. Newcastle wood smoke. From the article headline, proposed fish smoking facility in Newcastle Business Park up for Coastal Zone Act review. The News Journal. The only air emissions will be wood smoke from the smokers, the company said, by using the wet scrubber. Emissions are reduced and estimated. 69. 11. Illinois Chicago Northwestern University PM 2.5 Environmental PM 2.5 Exposure and Socioeconomic Deprivation are independent risk. Science Direct.com. Environmental PM 2.5 Exposure and Socioeconomic Deprivation are independent risk factors for impaired semen parameters. Fine particulate air pollution. Illinois Chicago PM 2.5 Long-term PM 2.5 Exposure and mental health disparities. A prospective analysis of the all. Science Direct.com. In this paper we evaluated associations between long-term fine particulate matter PM 2.5 exposure and incident depression and anxiety in a large 12. Indiana heat pump rebate. Government officials unlock over $180 million for homeowners to upgrade their appliances. The cool down rebate program's cutting energy costs is at the very heart of what residents can save up to $8,000 on a heat pump, $1,750 on a heat pump. 13. Maine heat pumps save big on heat pumps and solar before Washington pulls the plug. Electric with utility bills climbing. The group is highlighting the benefits of heat pumps, heat pump water heaters, rooftop solar, and other upgrades that can. 14. Massachusetts heat pump rebate. What to know about the Massachusetts new electricity rates for heat pump users. WBUR News rebates for installing heat pumps at the end of this calendar year. Before then, if you install an air source heat pump or a heat pump hot water and electric heat pump outside of a building in Massachusetts, installing heat pumps, which use electricity to heat and cool air, is a key part of. 15. Minnesota heat pump homeowner met with urgent warnings after receiving questionable advice from HVAC tech to cool down heat pump for their homes and start reducing energy output and power bills because heat pumps do not have to work as hard. They are responsible 16 New York PM 2.5 fine particulate matter exposure may worsen post-transplant mortality. Helio exposure to PM 2.5 increases the risk of post-kidney transplant mortality. Yiding Lee, MPH assistant research scientist in the Center for Surgical. 17 North Carolina Wilkes heat pump rebate. Big savings on home energy rebates. The Wilkes record heat pump water heaters up to $800 back pool pumps rebates have tripled from $300 to $900. Duct testing and sealing up to $450 instant rebate. 18 Oregon wood smoke. Multnomah County enforces first red day restriction of 2025 amid extreme heat risk. KTU. This is the first red day wood burning restriction of 2025. The Oregon Department of Environmental Quality has issued an air quality advisory for Oregon heat pump rebate. Heat pumps. How to get an incentive from your utility from Emerald to EWB. The Register Guard. Why do utilities offer air conditioning rebates and loans? Many local utilities offer incentives that will help customers use less electricity. And 19 Rhode Island heat pump. Rhode Islanders, your path to an energy-efficient heat pump just got easier. Rewiring America. Heat pumps are known to increase comfort in homes by providing more consistent temperatures and may result in energy bill savings for some households. 20 Stupidity to ignore Vermont indoor residential wood burning. Vermont wood smoke. Is Vermont seeing more wildfire smoke because of climate change? Connecticut Public Radio. It is a toxic cocktail. It is not just wood smoke, but includes volatiles from burning homes and waste along with all sorts of chemicals. Excerpts edited by Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Just how bad is smoke for your health, and what can you do to stay safe? The primary pollutant in wildfire smoke is PM 2.5, tiny microscopic particles that can penetrate deep into lung tissue. In Canada, Indigenous communities are disproportionately impacted by wildfire and exposed to risks from smoke. More from the NPR Life Kit, How to Protect Yourself from Poor Air Quality. From a public health perspective, Jill Baumgartner said cities and states in the Northeast would be wise to consider smoke solutions like clean air shelters, and she said for kids, people who are pregnant, and those with chronic health conditions, even episodic smoke exposure may be enough to cause long-term health problems. Population-wide health impacts like certain cancers may start to appear more often as more people in our population-dense region are exposed to PM 2.5, even at the levels Vermont has seen in recent summers. In the meantime, wearing a KN95, making your own air filter, staying indoors, or decreasing your activity levels when it is smoky can all help. Because wildfire smoke is relatively new to the East Coast, I often hear people saying, "Oh, it is okay, I am not scared of the smoke, I can just power through," Baumgartner said. And it is not the time to do that. This is not like taking a run in the rain or something like that. These pollutants are really bad for your health, and breathing in that smoke may even offset the cardiovascular benefit of going for that run. 21 Canada, British Columbia, Vancouver. Wood smoke. Will regular power cuts soon be part of Canadian summer? CBC News Metro Vancouver says that wood smoke from residential burning is the largest single source of fine particulate matter emissions in the region, which Canada, Nova Scotia, Halifax heat pump rebate. RCMP investigate HVAC scams, playing on government rebates. City News Halifax. RCMP investigate HVAC scams, playing on government rebates. A heat pump is installed at a house in Frankfurt, Germany. Thursday, September 7th, 2023. Canada, Ontario, Kawartha Lakes wood smoke. Forest fires brought under control in Kawartha Lakes wood business. Canadian Forest Industries. At the peak of the response, 4 significant fires were burning simultaneously, including a stubborn blaze near Burnt River that drew widespread. 22 Colombia, Barranquilla. PM 2.5 toxicological effects of particulate matter. PM 2.5 from an industrial city of the Colombian Science Direct com elegans in urban environments such as Barranquilla, Colombia. Abstract fine particulate matter. PM 2.5 air pollution poses a significant threat to 23 Australia, Sydney Red Bank Power Station. Wood burning. Rosep views stupidity or critique. Does this article deal with the fact that wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as coal burning? In this case, the word renewable does not mean clean. Renewable. With wildfires burning in Australia, the government should consider the adverse health effects of wood burning along with any consideration that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree. Wind or solar. The truly clean energy sources should be developed and used for home heating and hot water heating instead, and wind and solar should be used to power industrial plants. Also from the article headline, disused coal plant could burn wood and call it renewable energy. The Sydney Morning Herald. Would restarting Red Bank Power Station in the Hunter Valley as a biomass reactor be net zero, or is this a convenient untruth? Rosep could not view this story without a subscription. Excerpts from AI Overview edited by Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. AI Overview. Restarting Red Bank Power Station as a biomass reactor would not be net zero, making the claim a convenient untruth. While the theory of biomass carbon neutrality relies on regrown plants resequestering carbon, critics argue the proposal would necessitate large-scale land clearing for biomass crops, leading to a net increase in emissions and significant environmental harm rather than a carbon-neutral outcome. Increased emissions. Clearing land to create fuel sources for the power station releases stored carbon and requires significant energy and resources, undermining the net zero claim. Displacement of other land uses. The project threatens to displace agricultural land and could lead to higher overall carbon emissions. Focus on short-term gains. Critics, including local conservation groups, argue that relying on biomass as a solution for climate change is flawed, especially when it involves clear felling for fuel. Time lag in carbon sequestration. Even if regrowth occurs, there is a considerable time lag between the carbon released from burning biomass and the reabsorption of that carbon by new plants, meaning a temporary net increase in atmospheric CO2. In summary, the claim of net zero for the Red Bank proposal is contested by scientists and environmental groups who highlight the potential for increased emissions. 24 United Kingdom, England. Northeast England heat pump homeowner shares real-world energy costs. and savings while unpacking the heat pump to cool down. One homeowner says a heat pump has reduced the pollution in his household by at least 70%, while bringing energy cost savings. Excerpts edited by Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Many people are curious about upgrading to heat pump systems, but have concerns about their effectiveness in certain climate circumstances or house styles. That is why honest first-hand and comprehensive reviews can be so helpful when a prospective buyer is trying to decide if a heat pump is right for them. In the video series about living a low-carbon lifestyle and making sustainable energy decisions, the homeowner discusses using a heat pump to provide heat and hot water to his Victorian terrace home in Northeast England. 4 years living with a heat pump. Are we still warm? He titled a video published in late July. In the recent video, the creator shares that installing the heat pump has been a significant step toward reducing the heat-trapping pollution in his household, cutting emissions by at least 70%. He also tells viewers his heat pump produces plenty of hot water to enjoy everyday activities, from quickly washing hands to taking a full bath. About 5 minutes in, he begins to unpack what might have led to an apparent dip in the efficiency of his heat pump in the past year, taking loads of factors into account, from weather to time spent indoors, time away traveling, and more. Tom covers factors that might explain the small decrease, as well as strategies to support the efficiency of the pump. With multiple factors in the mix, turning to trusted brands like Mitsubishi can make it easy to find an affordable heat pump that fits your home and circumstances. In fact, Mitsubishi can even connect you with skilled professionals within a reliable network to install an efficient system, helping to ensure you can benefit from the many advantages of heat pumps. Tom reports that he saved over $250 with a heat pump compared to a gas heating system for the year. That makes sense, since upgrading the HVAC system of a home is one of the best ways to reduce energy costs while also helping the planet. The benefits continue to compound with heat pumps as they deliver both heating and cooling. Tom says that tariffs have been affecting energy prices and that electricity rates have been changing frequently where he lives. He also mentions that installing solar panels and a battery to power your heat pump can further lower energy costs. Those living in the United States can save money on solar panels at home using the Energy Sage free tool to compare local installer quotes, with the potential to save $10,000 on installations. Meanwhile, upgrading to a heat pump can cut close to $400 off energy costs each year for the average U.S. homeowner, adding up over time for some really meaningful savings. Leveraging home improvement tax credits, still available through the end of this calendar year, can add to the cost savings too. Which of these factors would most effectively motivate you to buy a heat pump? Lower energy bills, better temperature control, helping the planet. Commenters said our experience is shorter, but similar. Our efficiency is higher, and we get a lot of our electricity for free or at the low overnight rate. This makes our heat pump very cheap to run. Your videos have been excellent and convinced us to electrify, another viewer commented. United Kingdom heat pump installations rise by 63%. Could you benefit from one? MSN. The most popular type of heat pump is an air source heat pump, which draws in heat from the air around your home. There are also ground source heat. United Kingdom, Norwich, with smoke fire crews still fighting 400,000-ton bark blaze. BBC smoke has drifted from the bark blaze for miles around. Smoke could be smelt across the wider Norwich area on Thursday morning, with reports that 25 Europe wood smoke. EU wildfires worst on record as burning season continues. The Guardian. Wood burning stoves help undermine fall in particulate pollution from UK roads. February 14th, 2024. As US wildfires pollute the skies, a loophole is 26 China PM 2.5, unraveling the spatiotemporal heterogeneity and the oxidation potential of fine particulate. ACS Publications. American Chemical Society. Fine particulate matter PM 2.5 remains a critical ambient air pollutant in China, posing substantial public health challenges. 27 India. PM 2.5 NCP 2.0 white paper by experts urges more focus on rural areas. PM 2.5 Press Trust of India. NCP 2.0 white paper by experts urges more focus on rural areas. PM 2.5 New Delhi, August 20th. More than 58 organizations across India have jointly. 28 Thailand. PM 2.5 The hidden burden of dual climate threats, region-specific additive impacts of PM 2.5 in Science Direct.com. PM 2.5 significantly elevated mortality in all regions, especially the South. Cardio equals 1.013 lag is 0, and East respiratory equals 1.018 lag is 0. Cold wave. PM 2.5. Cat's corner strategy with Tiger and Leone. Saying the quiet part out loud. Roar. Hi, I am Tiger. Our human asked us to get up from our naps and start Cat's corner strategy with Tiger and Leone. She gave us a list of internet allies, which we will post for her here.
Hi, I am Leone. It is better for your mental fitness to go to these websites than to go to bro sites for advice. Substack letters from an American. Heather Cox Richardson. Substack, your local epidemiologist. The Midas Touch. The Guardian. The New York Times.
One introduction. Rosette view. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only for home building and furniture building. For just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry, and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable, wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree. But it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen, and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM2.5, and PM2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom. The Eco-Design Wood Stove and International Convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. Rosette View Purple Air PM2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.